Guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times and you're watching a quick gaming comparison of the POCO X2 with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G chipset with the Samsung Galaxy A51 that has the Exynos 9611 chipset with the Mali G72 MP3 GPU. The GPU on the POCO X2 is Exynos 618 based on that Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G. This particular phone has the 730G. G tag is for gaming, so obviously that chipset was made for gamers, but the Exynos 9611 though doesn't have any of those tags, it still has a chipset that is capable of pretty good gaming. So let me first go to the GFX tool to turn off whatever the settings were on this phone. You have the possibility of smooth and extreme if you turn it on through the GFX tool, but otherwise these are the default settings, which is smooth and ultra, smooth and high, balanced ultra, HD high. That is the best possible setting, that is without the GFX tool. Now on the Samsung Galaxy A51, under the graphic settings, what you see is smooth and extreme, which is possible without any tool, without any need of an external application. It directly has the option of 60 FPS. Balanced Ultra and HD Ultra is possible as well. HD High is 30 FPS, HD Ultra is 40 FPS, gaming on the HD graphics. And you have HDR Ultra as well, in case you are someone who needs the best of the graphics with a pretty high frame rate. So that is possible as well on the Galaxy A51, but that is not possible on the POCO X2. So smooth and ultra, let's set it to smooth and ultra on both the phones right now, and let me go down to the main screen and turn on a game on both the phones. Or let's go to a training room quickly, because again these two are on pretty different IDs, and one of the IDs is a high level one on Crown and the other one is not. So obviously there would be a difference in the kind of enemies you see, the landings you see. There would be actual heavy squads landing in the higher level IDs. Otherwise in the lower level ID, what you see is people randomly jumping, and there's not a lot of enemies around wherever you land. So that's where the frame rate and those things are pretty much different. So let's see here. First thing, with the Galaxy A51, this is the Galaxy A51, and you'll see the frame rates here. It's at 40 FPS right now, which is what you would be seeing as the base one. And again, this is on the high frame rate, so that's the setting you see here. Now on the POCO X2 as well, you can see that it's about 40 FPS, which is quite constant. So good thing is that both have pretty good GPUs, and they are able to handle things pretty well without an issue. So that's all good enough on both the devices. But with the graphic settings that are possible on both the phones, I can surely say that the Samsung Galaxy A51 has better options. The smooth plus extreme without the use of GFX tool, nothing needed there. It's performing quite well when compared to the POCO X2. Now, because I can say that 40 FPS on both, now what is possible on this one is what I'm going to show you. It's extreme, that's the 60 FPS. And now let's pull this up to the top. You can see now it's at 60 FPS. So the frame rates have now become 60 FPS, which is not possible on the POCO X2, and that's the one of the issues on the Snapdragon 730G. It's not able to offer you that particular gaming setting under PUBG Mobile, and that is possible on the other chipsets, a few other chipsets as well. Even the Helio G90T from MediaTek on the Redmi Note 8 Pro is capable of pretty good settings like that, but that is not possible on this one. Now let's turn on the gyroscope on both of them. Gyroscope always on, so you can see the gyroscope, no delays. It does respond pretty well on the POCO X2. So I'll set it to smooth plus ultra, which is the same setting that you see on the POCO X2 as well. So going to the training room once again, I'll now turn on the gyroscope to show you if there's any delays. I'll have both the phones in two hands, and then you'll see the difference in them. So now these are the two phones on almost the same place and the same settings. Now I'll turn on the gyroscope on the Galaxy A51 as well. Now you'll see the delay or whatever the difference in response is. It's not much. This is the POCO X2 while this is the Galaxy A51. The gyroscope is responding pretty fast. So that's a good thing with the mid-range phones. The gyroscope performance is not bad at all. You see the movements to be real time, unlike the delays that you see on some of the budget phones, and the delay is surely there because of the processing that is done on that chipsets. Here it's pretty real time and pretty good on these particular phones on both of them. So I'd say this was just a quick comparison to let you know what are the possible graphic settings here. With obviously with the GFX tool, there are things that you can change, and with GFX tool, there's no issues with the performance as well. It does well, but what the chipset is able to offer here is pretty much different. The POCO X2 is able to give you a best of 40 FPS, while the Samsung Galaxy A51 is giving you a possibility of 60 FPS. So that's the major difference here. And now we have enabled the 60 FPS through GFX tool on this particular phone. You can see the GFX tool is setting it at 60 FPS, and if you go to PUBG Mobile, now we have the option of Smooth plus Extreme here on the POCO X2 as well. So it's not that you can't at all play the 60 FPS on the POCO X2. It is still possible to do that, but otherwise, now if you come to this and you have the 60 FPS option on this phone, you'll see that it is going to that particular frame rate 60 FPS. So it's possible. It's not possible by default, but through a workaround through GFX tool, you can still have it, and it's pretty decent here. But I'll accept the fact that we are not playing a full game here right now, so obviously you won't be able to see if there are those lags due to enemies, and those lags due to enemies are basically because of the game's server issue and not because of the chipsets issue. But still, this is going to be a fair comparison only because we are showing this only for the settings possible in the training room, not in the actual lobbies. So we'll be doing separate videos. If you actually comment and let us know, we'll be doing separate videos of both the phones and doing the gameplay on same ID separately to let you know if there are lags on either of the phones. But for now, you can see that by default 40 FPS on the POCO X2, 60 FPS on the Galaxy A51, but 60 FPS is possible on the POCO F2 if you actually do it through the GFX tool, and there's no issues in that as well. It is able to handle those 60 FPS gaming graphics pretty much easily. So that's it in this comparison video of the Galaxy A51 and the POCO X2 gaming. Most of the features are going to be the same, and the performance seems to be decent enough on both the chipsets. That's Exynos 9611 on the Galaxy A51 and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G on the POCO X2. I hope you like this video. If you like it, do share and subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next video.